What's happening, YouTube? I'm afraid this is not going to be a very good video. But I'm not going to get angry. And that's very important. And you'll see why in just a second. I just, not even a couple minutes ago, watched a very short video of a man confronting another man next to a pickup truck. The man next to the pickup truck is holding a clipboard of some sort and what looks like a cell phone or a radio or something in his hand. He's parked on another man's lawn. The man who owns the house is yelling at the man in the truck with the clipboard, and he's screaming at him for shooting and killing his dog. While he's yelling at this man about shooting his dog, he asked him, "What is the address you're supposed to be at?" And he tells him, and it's across the street. That video gives me PTSD, even if it's only for a minute. I just learned something tonight about self-control. I'm doing it right now. But if that was my front yard, you see how I am with my dogs. If you kill one of my dogs, it'd be no different to me than if you killed one of my children. And what would you do if someone killed your daughter in your front yard and was still standing there when you came outside the house? What would you do? What would you do if the murderer of your child was standing in front of you? What would you do? Would you have the self-control to call the police? Would you? See, I don't think I could. And I pray to God I never find out. Self-control. Have you ever been tested where your self-control was at question? Have you ever lost self-control? I have. A couple times. I said in another video about turning red, right? Seeing red, you lose all self-control. I know what that's like. Been a lot of years, because it scares me. What I saw today scared me. Let me ask you, what do you think I would do if I came outside my house and I found this dog dead and the person that killed my dog was standing right there with a clipboard? What do you think I would do? I have a feeling maybe he was there to repossess somebody's car, maybe, or something, you know? Made a mistake. He made a mistake, right? He shot that dog because he was scared. Right? He didn't drive to that man's house planning to shoot and kill that man's dog. Right? But are you going to think about all that in time? Are you going to exhibit the self-control required to keep yourself out of trouble? See, I'm glad I saw that video, as hard as it was to watch, and I'll never watch it again. It taught me about self-control, and it taught me about my temper that's still in there, and about how when you get tested, you better take a breath or two or three and think some shit through. And never forget about consequences. See, the old me would have came out here yelling and screaming about what that man did to that man's dog. Right? Not no more. Because the thing is, it sounds to me like tests like this are going to become more commonplace for folk. The way things are picking up speed, it would seem, situations like this are going to be more and more commonplace. And if you can't maintain self-control, well, you might be making your own Wes Watson videos 10 years from now. Just saying. Think long and hard before you act, my friend. Like I said, I don't know what I would have done. Now that I've seen what I saw today, that'll come to mind should I ever be in that position. Pray to God I never am. But if for some reason I was ever put in a spot where I was ready to just not care anymore about nothing and cut loose, I'll remember this day, because I got another dog and I got family, right? Consequences. As tragic as that would be, it'd be insult to injury to the people that are still here, right? Consequences. I learned a valuable lesson today. I didn't plan on making this video. I was having a really good day, a really good couple days, and today I just got tested. Right now I just got tested, and I passed, because I didn't lose my shit. Normally, after seeing a video like that, I would have stewed and been upset for days, talking about it to everybody I talked to. Did you see what that guy did? Can you believe what that guy did? Now, whether the man that killed that dog has a heart or not, whether he's going to be remorseful for what he did for the rest of his life or not, taking that man's best friend, you know, I don't know. I don't know what was in that man's heart. I'm just saying. But had he acted on what just happened in a negative way, his wife that was holding his dog saying call the police, had he acted, and that man who just shot his dog probably would have shot him too, right? So that woman would have lost her dog and her husband because her husband couldn't control himself. Valuable lesson for me today. And I couldn't have learned it any other way than the way I just did, because of my connection to a dog. If I was ever going to learn self-control, nobody could have taught me better than what I saw today. So I'm sharing it with you, hoping you see what I saw. I don't mean you need to go watch that video, but you see how important it is to breathe before you act, because it might be your last act. Had he rushed that man, for killing his dog, and that man took his pistol out and shot him? His poor wife, right? It was bad enough that their dead dog was in her lap. Could you imagine if it was her husband? And what would it have proved? He exhibited a lot of self-control. You should watch it once. And I'm sure it ain't hard to find. It's a white pit bull. Go figure. Right? Just saying. Anyway, do what you do. Have a beautiful evening. Never forget a little self-control. May save your life one day. Peace. Sorry about the hard lesson.